Oh my god, it actually works. It fucking works. Guys, look at this. Okay. So you probably know that I'm addicted to WoW, but sometimes you gotta like stop playing and go do stuff with your family. Not if you can play WoW on your fucking iPhone. Found some threads online and basically just using Steam Link. I'm gonna be spending quality time with my wife, but I can play. The music's even coming through the fucking iPhone. Listen. I can never stop playing WoW. This is so dumb.
2 hours later.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Playing WoW.
Watching the concert?
Nope. So just the other day I saw this thread on Reddit about someone playing WoW Classic on their iPhone. Thought it was interesting and wanted to check it out myself. Usually this kind of stuff is so convoluted and requires so many like hacky things, pushes me away, but apparently this is just using Steam Link. All I had to do was boot up Steam, and then basically in just a couple of steps I got to the point where I could play WoW on my phone. Now, it's not a perfect situation. This isn't gonna be like an ideal way to play WoW or anything. I wouldn't really try going into dungeons or doing PvP, but it legitimately works. Like, you can do anything that you can do playing WoW, but on your phone, and you can do it from anywhere. I wanna show you how I got this done, because it's actually kind of cool, and I think it has some interesting uses. Warning, warning, warning. You should know that this might get you banned. There's been some concern that using something like this is against Blizzard TOS. However, after digging into it, I feel like that's probably not the case, and I haven't heard of any bans. Just know there's a possibility that this is against TOS and it could get your account banned. I think it's cool, and it's something that I wanted to check out regardless, and frankly, if Blizzard bans me from Classic WoW, they'd probably be doing my life a favor.
Where are we?
At an Eric Entree show.
What are you doing?
Playing WoW. Alright, so one of the first questions you're gonna have is, how do you do this? What I like about this is it's so freaking simple to do. So all you gotta do is go into the App Store and type in Steam Link. And just downloading this app and having Steam open, I clicked on the wrong fucking thing. Just downloading Steam Link and then having Steam open on your PC is literally all you need to do. So we go ahead and open Steam Link, and there's a bunch of stuff that you can do in here, but I frankly don't even bother with this. Basically all I do is I hit the back button and I go minimize big picture. So this is what is on my desktop right now. It's also right here on my phone. So again, and if I move the cursor over, that moves over to my second monitor there, and then I'll move it back. It takes like no steps at all. Now, there's things I want to still play around with, such as the controls and everything. But I mean, you can just, even with the most simple interface, you can literally do everything. In fact, I could even like go over here and then right click on that, so push to move and everything, and you can go like this. And if you hold it down, and you can move the camera around and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to fix these touch controls and get it into a position that's smooth, and then I'll probably try to tweak the UI to get it in a spot that would be better for playing on this size screen. So the first thing I wanted to do was just clean up the UI. The phone is such a small screen, and there's so many abilities on my hotbar that I use, but I don't need in every single second of combat. Like, I just wanted to go down to my basic rotation. So I use Bartender, which lets me set these profiles. So I've got a profile specifically for my phone now, and then I could just switch back to my basic PC profile whenever I want without having to readjust everything every time I swap between the PC and the phone. It's really nice. And what I wanted to do was just cut it down to the basic rotation and just have everything that I absolutely need on screen. Now, all of the other keys that I have in that bottom right-hand corner, they're all still there, and I could access them on my phone, but they're just gonna be hidden until the mouse cursor goes over them, which is a real nice option in the visibility tab up at the top. And then my basic rotation, I just made it nice and big so that it's easy to see all the skills when I'm on the phone. You know, again, it's a really small screen, and really these are just the necessities. And then I can set up my digital interface so that I can quickly access all of that. And there you go. I could go out there, I could do some grinding, I complete some quests. It's not the best way to play, but it's a nice option for playing on the phone. But the settings and the controls controls are really the most important part, and I want to just quickly show you what to do. So when you get into the game, hit that Steam button, and then go ahead and move up into this cog wheel here, and then you want to go down under controller to base configuration, and then you want to go to desktop configuration. You can see there is browse configs if you hit the X button, so we're going to hit X, and that's going to bring us into the configurations menu, and then you want to go down to templates. This is a lot, but trust me, it's worth it. The template I suggest using is the keyboard, WASD, and mouse. This is going to give you kind of the best basic configuration, but you can do further customization right up in this corner. Let me move the thing here. These M buttons right here, M4 through 8, you can just go right into it and assign a hotkey. So I'll go to one that I haven't assigned yet, and then I can basically say, keyboard function, do I want this keybind for? So I've already got 1 through 6, so let's just make one for, let's do one for V, okay? So we'll just put, so now I've got that bound all the way back, and then we're gonna go into the game again. We're gonna minimize big picture by clicking on the options thing up here and then going to layout controls. This is how you set up your digital interface. So let's just say I didn't have the WASD movement yet. I can click and drag, and you can literally put this anywhere. And then we go up here and we hit done, and there it is. I'll be the first one to admit here, this digital interface setup is probably the most intimidating part, but just play around with it. All that you need to know is when you hit the options button up here and you go to layout controls, all of this can be customized in the menu that we showed you earlier. What each of these things do and what they have access to, these specialized keybinds, everything. Like, so there's lots of customization. You know, with a little bit of work and a little bit of customization, you can actually get like a pretty good experience. And probably notice that like my in-game UI is my basic rotation, the bare minimum of skills. And I even hid some of the bars, but I can still have access to them by putting the mouse cursor over it. So I've got access to all the skills that I would be using normally if I was playing at home with my mouse and keyboard. But I figured, why not have a setup that's like just for doing some bare bones basic grinding? And you don't need to go through, like, I've done a lot of customization, not only to my in-game UI, but also to this digital display. You don't have to do all of this. You could just jump right in, and it's still gonna give you like a pretty solid, a pretty decent experience. And I'd like to show you, now I'm not gonna pretend here that this is like the best way to play the game, but I think what's really cool about this is it kind of just shows that you could play remotely and it's still actually gonna be a decent experience. Like if you're out of the house for a while, if you're at work and you have some downtime and you wanted to do a little bit of grinding or some fishing or level some professions, this can totally work. And combat, it's quite clearly a bit clunkier. Movement's a bit clunkier, interacting with your spells and abilities is a bit clunkier, but it can work. Like what I've set up here is just my basic rotation, basically what I need to do. And I've got the tab thing, so I can tab target. All right, I can send in my pet with a little macro. I did a pet immolate macro, super easy. And then I just dot them up and I start wanding. You know, I'm playing as a warlock, which is dot spec, but I'm convinced that you could do this with any of the classes. The basic rotations in WoW, especially in Classic, they're really simple. I mean, it's not as bad as you would think, and you could actually reasonably get some stuff done while you're not at home at your PC. You could still do some leveling, you could still do some grinding. Maybe you want to pick up a bunch of crafting mats for cooking or something. Like you could do that and you would still, it's just, it works. It's good enough that it works. And it's definitely, playing this way works great if you're just doing something like fishing as well. I mean, that's a premier way to do it. Like, yes, I could come out here and grind some stuff, and it's not the worst. You know, it's slow, it's a little bit clunky and all that. If someone comes up to me and tries to kill me with PvP, I'm pretty much obliterated. But it's just, I guess it's just a neat other option. And I think really this doesn't apply to me so much, but people who, you know, who work out of the house, which is most people, and who might have some downtime on a lunch break or something, like I could see people getting some real solid use out of this. It's pretty cool.
Did you bring your fishing gear?
Yep. What? Get out of here.
If for nothing else, I kind of like the fact that I could just fish on my phone. Frankly, like after a long day of work or playing WoW, mostly playing WoW, I could just kick back, relax, chill in bed or on the couch, or maybe we're out waiting in line somewhere and I'll throw out a few casts. This is kind of a problem, isn't it?
say it. Slow and say playing WoW. Look right at it and say it.
I'm playing WoW.